Tweek was a product that we kind of announced during INMA's conference last year, and the whole reason for it was we wanted to kind of show the industry how you could reuse existing content that you had, which was more long form content where there isn't any time based anything time based around it. And we said the tablet was a fantastic medium because of the interactivity it offers and the similarity between the print medium and a tablet in terms of advertising, right? When you advertise on a tablet, it offers you a full screen experience, it offers you a far more rich experience, so you're able to charge a premium for advertising. While the initial rollout was on the iOS platform, which is Apple's tablet platform, we are rolling it out for Android and for smartphones too. So you're going to actually have a Tweek application, which is a magazine-like application for the iPhone and for all the rest of the other phones that are out there, including the new Lumia phone that's coming out. It'll be all within the next month. For us, this first month was understanding, what the user uptake of the content would be, how we need to tailor make it for the tablet audience, and use those learnings when we roll out for the phone and for some of the other devices. We'll see how that goes. For right now, I think the model we've taken is let's make it free. Yeah, it's going to be free, but because first of all, in the Android marketplace, it's far more difficult to monetize it. The ecosystem is, I still think, has a long way to go in terms of cleanup. But we have a lot of advertiser interest who are now coming and saying, let's take the entire edition for Tweek. So we're doing certain deals which will be, for a month, and certain which will be for the entire year too. You have advertisers that look at the tablet audience as someone who are high net individuals, people with higher disposable incomes, and their target audience when it comes to advertising. It has I think within 24 hours we were the #1 app in the App Store, and this is for something which doesn't overtly have the Times India brand in it. It was a surprise. For us, we've had that kind of success when it comes to Times India's app and the Economic Times, but there's a latent, the brands are so popular it almost drives itself. Clearly these are market leaders when we're talking about brands, and these are brands where they do the hard work of building the product. Now they need a company that will help in selling and distribution, and that's where we're making our investments. We're making our investments in the logistics, in the last mile delivery, in the customer outreach, in making sure that the right consumer is there looking at your product, and even some of the content around it. In a sense, I think we're a company that's over the next 12 months going to try and work in more ways to kind of integrate commerce with content. And it's a natural fit. Like Nokia, there are a lot of other consumer brands, there are consumer technology brands, there are non-tech brands that we will tie up, where we become the e-commerce and logistics partner. So Tlabs is not a pure incubator. If I were to kind of draw a parallel to something in the West, it would be Techstars or Y Combinator. And in many ways, these are incubators / accelerators, they're catalysts. They help open doors, they help kind of mentor aspiring entrepreneurs. They kind of have other mentors who come in and kind of give them advice on what it takes to actually run a long-term sustainable business. The biggest challenge today is that there wasn't a real ecosystem or enough courses in universities locally which actually tells some of these startups what are some of the pitfalls you need to avoid when you're starting up. How do you assess the market opportunity that's out there? How do you build a sustainable product? How do you market it right so you don't blow a lot of your VC money in the early days on going after an audience where your cost for audience acquisition is far too much than you'll ever recover. And I think our learnings and the fact that we've been doing this for the last 10 years, 12 years, and we have a group of mentors from different walks of life who've been successful in their business, who have come together, and we have this boot camp, in fact, that's going on right now, where our first batch of 5 companies, that we've kind of said, these are the guys who we feel we can add value to, or we can build successful companies out of, has started. We made the introductions. It's going great. and I think right now they're doing an entire crash course on usability. So it touches on different facets of what a company and entrepreneur needs, and it starts from just at the core level, starting up the idea. How do you solve a problem? How is it that you're going to have a real competitive edge over someone else? Once you do that, building out the usability and the actual interface, and taking your product to market, helping you get the first round of funding, and eventually making it a success. I think that's really where we come in. We do. It's a token amount. It's 10 lakhs. And it's basically to for some of the startup expenses that are needed. However, we do offer our own facilities out of Noida. So you have a startup that's coming into a startup environment. You also have other Tlabs companies that are part of the whole ecosystem. So you can actually do some sort of peer learning through them also. Music by its very nature is social. We listen to music together, we go out to restaurants and we listen to music together, we go to wherever we go to concerts, and it's a given that we tend to gravitate towards people who have a similar taste in music. Facebook implemented the open social some time ago, and it was a way to basically connect with your friends in an off-site environment. We experimented and we integrated it, and the early signs were fantastic. We saw referrals go up from Facebook by about 200%. And recently what we've done is we've integrated ourselves into Facebook as an application. So right on your timeline, you can actually see the type of music I'm listening to, and when you click on it, it takes you to the Ghana site where you can listen to it. So discovery is a big motivation for us to do this. We've seen more people discover the Ghana brand and discover music through the peer groups. I would say this would go a long way in building up our referral traffic from Facebook. I think the only thing we bear in common with Flipkart is that it's about music, and it's the same thing we bear in common with what a CD player or an old phonograph is. People have always said that one medium would outpace the other, but CDs are still around, radio is still around. Ghana, is a place where you can get music on demand. You can connect with your peers and listen to what they're listening to. You can have that customized, personalized experience. At the same time, if you want, you can have that completely random experience of radio, right? Flipkart has launched Flight, which is an e-commerce store to purchase music. I think they're very different in the nature that I would want music to listen in an offline mode if I did not have say an internet connection. That's one of the advantages. But if I would wanted to sample music and I want to listen to it, then Ghana is the place to go for discovery. You have similar ecosystems and you have similar kind of products out in various parts of the world, and you see them working well together. So Spotify exists in the US, and Spotify is again a cloud-based music platform, which also has a subscription service which gives you additional access. So then if you need to access it on your mobile phone, if you need to access it if you're out of the country, if you need to have something called an offline mode, then they have that. And at the same time you have Amazon, which or you have iTunes, which is what Flight's model is. It's you pay per download. For us, if I were to take informed bet, I think the world is moving towards an always on, always connected kind of place. And if I can get my entire music collection in the cloud anytime I want it, with the ability to store it in an offline mode, so I can have it where there is no internet connectivity, I would bet on that model. Over the last year, we've announced a number of partnerships. There was a partnership with the NBA, which was to stream their content on our channels. There was a partnership with Point, which is a company based out of Canada, to build a hyper-local application. There are a number of deals where we are in deep talks right now that might unfold in the next two weeks. We're going to be announcing something called Times Local Partner. The motivation around that was, if you look at India, there is no other media company that has a leadership position across whichever medium it is, whether it's radio, television, internet, and we feel the Times Group is the only company that can actually build a habit around these new brands. There are a lot of companies that look at India as the next kind of step when they look at geographical expansion, it's a no-brainer for them to come and work with us. These are companies who have a product that would work well here, have had some initial traction, and they see India as a significant part of their strategy. At the same time, there are companies where which we identify, and we feel that we've seen that it fills a certain gap in India, and we're the right partner for them to work with. Last year was about, I think, getting all of our product strategy right. We did a spate of a slew of launches and extremely well received. This year our focus is going to be on Box TV, on the Times Audience Network, which is our video ad platform. I think you're going to see a fair bit of aggression from us on the sales front as we go out and now aggregate more partners and try and build this ecosystem, because one of the challenges the video industry, at least in the digital front, faces is of pricing, and networks kind of undersell this inventory. We're aware of this, and we want to make sure that we have other partners, whether it's in the news space, that form some sort of consortium where we actually have some sort of fixed price beyond which we won't discount video inventory. So I think from that stand, you're going to see a big push for TAN. We also are now getting our community strategy right. So we launched Speaking Tree last year. We launched the ET Speed community sometime earlier this year, and you're going to see Times Points as a community feature that kind of ties in all our properties together, and that's something that's rolling out in the next couple of weeks also. In terms of advertising, we've seen tremendous growth. There has been, we've seen quarter-on-quarter growth. I think if you look at our numbers, we're growing faster than any other media player in this space. Our advertising growth has been about 120% over the last 2 years. And we will continue to kind of increase our team and focus on new innovation around advertising. We launched something called Demand Plus, which is a need creation platform. And we are rolling this out. We're rolling these solutions out in partnership with a lot of the other advertising companies that are out there. It's a fantastic product. It's truly innovative. I think for us, we understand that there's a whole generation of cord cutters out there, and these are people who want to move away from the appointment-based viewing of television to give me my content when I want. Kind of setting, and we are building this out to be available on over-the-top devices. It's going to be available on connected TVs. It's going to be available on your desktop as a desktop application on through the website or the mobile phone, and it's going to have a fair mix of long-form premium content, and it's going to have a fair mix of short-form content also. I can't reveal more than that. You're going to have to wait for the product to launch, but you will see that that it clearly is something that stands apart from the crowd. We're clearly seeing that the cloud is becoming more of a common feature in most products these days, in some way. In some way, either as a hybrid strategy or as the only strategy. We see the ability to have your content available to you when you want it on whichever device you're on as being a clear trend. Commerce, while it'll continue to grow, clearly this is a time when you're going to see the men being separated from the boys, and some of the early funding that you saw last year is going to dry up. So you're going to see a lot of companies feature in the dead pool, which isn't a good thing. I just think that companies need to think through the long-term strategy before they dive in. And that said, maybe you're going to see a lot of funding in the non-e-commerce space, in maybe some content companies and some other technology players. I feel that part will definitely pan out bigger. You'll see some good plays in the social space in India. There's no reason why, at least if I were to do some future gazing, we won't see one or two products from India that are international success stories. Unfortunately, I've kind of always kept myself isolated from the environmental kind of situations and gone with what my gut or what the team's gut is when it comes to products and services, etc. We've never been very trend oriented when it comes to that. I started in the 90s, so I've seen cycles of ups and downs, and we've survived and we've been growing, and it's been a constant in whichever company that I've been part of. So there are clear cycles where you see a lot of investment happening in the tech space, and you see a lot of startups. I think it's important to have that space, because it's only through innovation that change happens. I think we're seeing another phase right now. We're also seeing a phase where there is probably going to be some consolidation, where, like I said, there needs to be some weeding out of the potential fly-by-night companies, and I think that's happening. We made some investments over the last 2 years, Instablogs.
Yes.
I think for us, when it comes to content, we've got the largest team out there. We've got the biggest content repository. A lot of our traditional journalists today are being trained on how to use social media, how to write for the web. So I think most of our actual investments will be in getting our existing people future ready, web ready. If we do look at some external investments, it will be in niches where we feel we don't have the domain expertise, and we see that someone's already making a significant kind of inroads into customers. That said, again, Indiatimes has something that we're rolling out called the Indiatimes Alliance Network. Now, what the Alliance Network does is we'll partner with other bloggers, with other websites that are in similar categories as Indiatimes, and we will represent them in terms of ad sales. So my team will go out and sell the ad inventory that they have. At the same time, we will promote their website through the Indiatimes website, and these could be links in stories, it could be contextual links next to our content and partner sites. So it's a distribution, monetization model. We look at growing this network to have about 100-200 partner sites by the end of this year, and these are sites that we feel in many ways fit the similar audience profile of the Indiatimes group, and this way we don't dilute any of that. Internationally, I think first of all, the global broadband penetration rates are far greater than it is in India. In India, I think connectivity and access is still a big issue. Till you can get one laptop or one in every school, or you can get connectivity in nearly every other home, it's going to be a while till you see a real true audience migration. Today, in many ways, each medium for us at the Times complements the other. So it's not a one or the other. It's we don't play it that way. We kind of make sure that the digital front complements the newspaper and television. clearly for us 2012 is going to be about pushing the envelope when it comes to online videos. Both our offerings, so whether it's Box TV, which is going to be a destination site and an application where we will have premium content. Our focus is clearly going to be in driving audiences towards that, and also getting a new set of advertisers onto that platform. With TAN, which is the Times Audience Network, again, we see video as an important part of TIL's growth story. So there is going to be investment in both the technology, the serving capabilities, storage, and distribution this year. We're looking at a number of companies right now. When we look at a company, there are two things. Either it could be a financial investment where we feel that there is some value or some multiple that we can unlock or get through an exit in subsequent years, and we look in that situation. We look at the business model. We look at who the founding team is. We look at what the investor interest is. There are various parameters we use to gauge that. And then the other is more strategic, where we feel that there's a company that's building a product that in many ways is complementary to the Times Group, and we then look at and even the approach towards that is less as an investor and more as a partner. There is a large delta, there's no denying that. People keep saying that it's dollars, it's print dollars versus digital pennies, and the thing I say is it's time we start stacking the pennies. So you need to look at how you can unlock value from the same content, from the digital content across different devices. We're doing it on the web through advertising. That's clearly the best way for us to unlock value for your general content. But we're also doing it through applications like Tweek, where we're using the same content and we're getting additional value out of that. We're doing the same thing by packaging it into SMS packages that we put on operator decks. So there's further value that we unlock there. So it's looking at all the different mediums, figuring out some sort of customized content solution for them, and figuring out how all of those pennies at the end of the day stack up to the dollar. Okay, so again, the blog business was, if you look at what Indiatimes was in the past, it was the doorway into the Times Group properties, but that was the brand we sold. I think we've realized that it's the parts that are probably more important than the sum. In this case, the focus on Times of India came when that realization happened. So we verticalized our sales approach to say Times of India needs its own sales team that can go out there and kind of get more value than it was getting in the past. Now with that, we realized that there were certain verticals where we needed to get far deeper, and we kind of honed in on 7 verticals. There's health, there's women's, there's consumer technology, there is luxury, there is technology. So there are these verticals that we felt that there was both a consumer interest and we could create blogs and verticals. At the same time, there's an advertiser interest to reach out to this audience. And again, the way we sell is it's about the audience, and it's not about, these aren't irrelevant audiences. It's very relevant to the product or service that the advertiser's selling. Ghana, in about 4 months of launching, hit the #1 position. We today are at 3.8 million unique visitors. It's growing at the pace we wanted it to grow at. Zigwheels has reached a leadership position in the auto segment, but then so has about 6 or 7 of our verticals. So for us, I think we're at a space where each team is now focused on their vertical. We're doing the right things when it comes to product. We're doing the right things when it comes to content, and we're just doing whatever we feel it takes to maintain and keep a leadership position. In terms of monetization, I think we're probably the TR network today is the most aggressive. We have the most aggressive sales team. and we are, we are maintaining our growth. Times of India and Economic Times clearly are front runners when it comes to, if you look at the size of the audience, because of the way we sell out there. It's also the largest site when it comes to monetization. The Economic Times site is the one where we are growing fastest when it comes to advertising and monetization, and we've grown 140%. To give you some numbers, this budget, we will do about 4.5 crores in business, and this is an ad revenue, digital ad revenue, for a period of 30 days. It follows the demand plus model, where we associate brands with certain verticals and sections, and we're seeing incredible traction. Brands come on because they see this as a good fit with their potential audience, and also because of the perception of being a market leader when you get associated with the ET brand and that vertical. On the other side, I think it's the new properties that we have, like Ghana, Box TV, that is clearly defining what the DNA of TIL and the future Indiatimes will be, is that we are a products company, we are a technology company, we aren't a pure content company anymore. Everything we build out now is going to be, something that's different from what's out there. It's going to cut through the clutter. These are products that, by their nature will be social, and we hope that each one of our products that we do roll out gets the same success as some of the existing properties we have.